Hello there viewers, and welcome back to another video today here on Gracious Sports. So today you join us for the first round of Season 4 of the Club 100 eSports League. So yes, you join us then for the return of Club 100. We had a month off in between Season 3 and Season 4, and yeah, this is now round 1. We are here at Fuji Speedway. We're at the full circuit of Fuji Speedway, and well, we've got a new spec car for this season. So you might remember last season, race 1 of each round of each week. Race 1 was in the Mazda MX-5s. This season we are in the Red Bull Junior X 2014 things. Yeah, bit funky cars, not real life cars. These things don't exist in real life. They're like these concept cars made by Red Bull back in 2014. This car, it's a bit odd. It's alright, but it's got some strange weight transfer issues, let's say. I mean, as we make our way out of the hairpin and down to Dunlop, you'll see as we come into this hairpin, it's got really strange weight transfer. You can be very delicate on turning because otherwise the back end kicks out. So as you come out of this hairpin here, manage to keep it under control that lap, but yeah, quite often back end kicks out and it's very easy to spin as we actually do lose the back end there as we get out on the power out of Dunlop. The format for Club 100, just like last season, is you have 2 races per night, so 2 races on a Tuesday night. For the first race, you have a 10-minute qualifying session followed by a 20-minute race, and there's no tyre wear, there's no nothing, it's just a 20-minute sprint race. And then you have a second race of the night, and that is a 30-minute race with strategy, and in this season we'll be using group forecast for that. But as we start our qualifying lap here, coming down to turn 1, braking just as the curb starts on the left-hand side, you can brake quite late in this car. It's got quite a lot of downforce, not much weight, and hasn't got a huge amount of power either, so you can brake quite late. Coming now into Coca-Cola, can't quite take this flat out, or if you do, you very much risk getting a penalty, so just lifted off slightly there as I turned in. And then coming through 100R, this is flat out. It's really satisfying, this car actually. You've got so much grip at high speed. You can take that flat out, braking at the end of the curb back there on the left hand side for the hairpin for turn 6, and then powering out. That can be quite a tricky corner, to be honest. I always struggle with that corner, struggle to carry the speed through there, always miss my apex, I always make a hash out of it. Coming down now to Dunlop, braking just before the Dunlop barrier starts on the right hand side, and then cutting that curb. Didn't cut that enough, to be honest, although we are now into Callum Brewell's slipstream in front of us. Now coming up into turn 13, really tricky corner this. I hate it. That whole section I absolutely hate. It was designed by Herman Tilke, and surprise, surprise, awful section of circuit this. Yeah, really horrid, really long right-handers and left-handers which you have to brake whilst turning, and yeah, really late apexes, really difficult to kind of spot your apex. I hate it. But anyway, coming out of Panasonic, then coming up to the start finish line, we are firmly within the slipstream range of Callum Brewell in front, which is good. That's going to give us an almighty tow down this start finish straight, and as we come up to the start finish line, where is that going to put us? It's going to put us into P3. So we've gone up into 3rd place, so that's not too bad, thank you very much. So that's a 1 minute 38.4. Not a great lap, to be honest, but it will do, as we actually ever so slightly give Callum a tap there. To be honest, I think both of us were aborting there. We were both pulling out of the way of the guys behind. I think we were both happy with the lap time that we just set. So yeah, lap time, decent lap. In an ideal world, I'd be doing 137s. That's kind of the ultimate pace, is 137s, but to be honest, didn't do a huge amount of practice for this race, and this car is very funky. There's a way to drive this car, and I haven't really worked it out yet. It's a very funky car to drive. So yeah, P4 at the moment. By the time qualifying was over, we'd ended up falling down at 2 P6, as yeah, a number of drivers went faster than us. So you've got Nathan then with a superb 1 minute 37.8 on pole position, and then you've got Arthur M. Silver Arrow, who was in Lobby 2 last season, stepped up to Lobby 1, and he's done a sensational lap time, only ever so slightly behind Nathan, and has yeah, managed to qualify on the front row of the grid. Then you've got Ryan in 3rd and Tim Clark in 4th with identical lap times, so yeah, that's good. There should be 4 decimal points of timing in Great Turismo. I don't know why there isn't, to be honest, because yeah, you end up with situations like that. Then you got my teammate Marky Boy in 5th, you got myself in 6th, you got my former teammate Trevor, the best teammate ever, in 7th place, and you got Callum Brewell in 8th. Jack Cameron Drayton has qualified in 9th, and then you got Toby, who also has got promoted from Lobby 2 in 10th, and then Kirith Cart in 11th place. As always in Club 100, we'll be using a grid start to turn that traction control then up to 1, and we've got 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we eventually go. That was a very long hold of the lights then. So away we go then from 6th place on the grid. Everyone's got a pretty even start, to be honest. Everybody is competent and everybody remembered to turn traction control on. Heading down to turn 1 then, are we going to be able to make any places up as well? We've just got a car exit stage left there. Not sure what happened there, but we've also had Treviso, our teammate who started 7th place on the grid, who's managed to do us around the outside there. We were a little bit too cautious, to be honest, going into turn 1 there. Probably should have got our elbows out a little bit more on the corner exit, and well, we've run wide now, coming out of Coca-Cola, so we are getting swamped here. We've got Toby on our outside now. Things aren't going too well. We've got a penalty as well for running wide, and we've gone back into the back of Treviso as well, so this has not been a particularly good start, to be honest. We've lost 2 places now and got ourselves a penalty and gone into the back of Trevor, so yeah, not going too well. We have got the slipstream of Trevor though, so that's enabled us to get back ahead of Toby, who was slightly ahead of us at one point there. Going now into the hairpin, we're going to get an almighty punt from Jack Cameron Drayton, who, well, clearly missed his braking point because he just torpedoed me there into the hairpin. Yeah, not quite sure what was going on there. He must have missed his braking point as yeah, he smashed into the side of me. In P7 now, fortunately Trevor in front has just had a moment coming out of that corner there. He's lost the back end coming out of turn 13, so that has enabled us to catch back up to him, and we're actually going to send it up his inside then into Panasonic, into this final corner here, and we're going to make that move stick. So we have managed to make our way then back up to P6. So started 6th on the grid, went down to 8th, back up into 6th place now. We have got Trevor in our slipstream though, so that is an issue down this massive long straight, this mile long straight. Fortunately, he's going to give us a bump draft, so he's not going to fight with us, which is really good. Thank you very much for that, Trev. He's going to give us a bump draft instead to boost us along. Gap to Marky Boy in front is just over a second at the moment, so that's our teammate, our new teammate Marky Boy. He's a second here, what's it now, 9/10, so we have caught him ever so slightly through the hairpin then. As soon as you get into the slipstream range in these cars, yes, you get a slipstream, so you get a speed advantage on the straight, but you also get dirty air, like really quite bad dirty air like you get in Formula 1 in real life. As a result, through the corners you lose quite a lot of grip, so you kind of want to be within a slipstream range, yes, for the speed boosts down the straight, but you kind of don't want to be because you are going to be screwed through the corners, so that is something to look out for. A couple of corners later, and our teammate Marky Boy has in fact managed to make his way past Tim Clark in front of us, so Marky Boy is now up into 4th place, and we are firmly within the slipstream range of Tim now, coming onto the start finish straight. Tim, he had to serve a penalty into the hairpin, and yeah, that's why he lost a lot of time, and that's how Marky Boy managed to make his way past. So we are now firmly gaining on Tim as we make our way down to turn 1, just set a 1 minute 38.3, actually bettered our qualifying lap, so that was a good lap then from us on lap 2. Heading down to turn 1, are we going to be able to go up his inside? We're going to send it up his inside, and we're going to make the move stick, or are we though? As we exit the corner, Tim actually got a good exit out of there. I had to give him space on exit, and yeah, Tim ended up getting a much better exit. Got on the power earlier and managed to get back ahead of us as we exited turn 1. So that was, I mean, it was a successful move as such, but we didn't get our elbows out on exit. We left his space and he managed to get back past. As a result, going now down into turn 6, we're going to send it up his inside once more. This time, are we going to be able to pull it off as he does the undercut on us coming out of turn 6? Is he going to be able to get back past us this time? No, he is not. So you've got 2 right-handers here, which is what stopped him from getting back past us. Is he going to send it up the inside? No, he's not into that hairpin. He's fortunately going to drop back, and he's going to let us have P5 then. So we've, well, gone from 8th place up to 5th over the course of the last, two and a half laps. So we're doing a good recovery here after a bad start. And as we reel in our teammate Marky Boy in front, I'm actually going to hand over to Andrew Mather, who live streamed this race and commentated over the top of it. So I'm going to hand over to his live stream now.
Very, very soon. In fact, Luke Battersby is all over the rear axle of Marky Boy 92 Mark Ridout at the moment. May have a go on his teammates here. Down into turn 1. Mark Ridout may have a whiff of a slipstream there, but not a lot on board with Luke Battersby now. And now you see the slipstream come into effect. Surely it'll be a very simple block pass down the inside for Luke Battersby. Can he get his braking right? Of course he can. That's 4th place for Battersby.
So as you can see there then, we've managed to make our way up into P4, managed to do quite a slick overtake up the inside of our teammate Marky Boy then into turn 1. One lap later, and we've got the two guys in front of us. We've got Arthur Silver Arrow and Roswald in front of us. They are actually fighting for position, so they're fighting for second place right now, which is going to help us a lot, as Ryan has to take an awkward line then into the hairpin there, into Dunlop, and well, he's lost about half a second just through that corner low there, lost about 6/10, so the gap went from pretty much 2 seconds to only 1.3 seconds now, so we have gained quite a lot of time then on the two guys in front of us just through that section of corners. Over the course of the next couple of laps, we did indeed manage to continue hacking away at that gap to the guys in front, and we are now within a second of Ryan in front of us. So at this point in time, I was really happy with how this race had gone. This car, I don't know how to drive it, and this truck, I hate it. I hate Fuji. I never drive around this circuit. I always avoid it massively. I always give this truck a wide berth. Whenever this comes up in the daily races or whatever, I never touch it. I hate this circuit. So yeah, doing really well here. We're now, we're 8/10 behind Ryan coming out the hairpin, and that's going down to 7/10, and we're now within the slipstream range of Ryan as we come up to Coca-Cola. Well, the thing is I didn't do any practice races or anything like that before this. I didn't do any practice lobbies. I just kind of did some time trialing by myself, and so I didn't know what the dirty air was like. I knew that there was chronic dirty air, but I didn't know what it was actually like. So what happened there going into Coca-Cola is I saw I was in the slipstream range, panicked, thought, oh dear, I better lift off a little bit more than normal for this corner, because there's apparently this really bad dirty air. Lifted off way too much, missed my apex as well, so that slipstream range that we've managed to get within has we've already fallen straight back out of it, as the gap has gone back to 8/9 to Ryan. 2.5 laps later, and we've managed to keep the gap pretty much as it was. So we managed to hold that gap at 8 to 9/10, as we actually put in some really solid laps on lap 9 and 10. Did two low 1:38s, both of which beat our qualifying lap time. And well, we are now back within the 16 range just about. Yes, as we come out of the hairpin, yeah, just under 7.5 now. Coming up to Coca-Cola, are we going to make the same mistake again? Are we going to pull our pants, to be honest, as we come through here? Yes, we are. That time round, not only did I lift off too early, but I this time turned in too early as well. Instead of turning in too late like I'd done the previous time, I turned in too early, smashed the bollards, and lost about 6/10 just there. When you hit those bollards through those corners, you lose so much time. It just stops you in your tracks basically. So that gap has gone from 7/10, shot up to 1.5 seconds, just like that. And to be honest, at this point in the race, I didn't give up on beating Brian, but we've got 2.5 minutes left. I'm 1.5 seconds behind, and I don't know what this dirty air is like. I'm rather scared of it. I'm rather scared that if I get into this dirty air, I'm going to go off, I'm going to get a penalty, I'm going to spin. There's some vicious curves here at Fuji as well, and some vicious bits of AstroTurf as well. So at this point I was kind of like, you know what, I might just stay out of the slipstream range. I might just accept 4th place here. I'm doing much better than I'd expected at this point in time. I expect to be right at the back. I expected to be doing donuts, to be honest, at last. In 4th place, I'm just going to hold on to this, to be honest. Holding on to 4th is what we indeed did. So as we come out of this final corner then, on the final lap of the race, we're going to come home in 4th place. And if you have a look at the lap times on the right actually, every single lap after lap 1 was a 1:38, which I was really happy with, because in practice I think I did about 20-25 laps practice, and then I did about 3 1:38s, with the rest all being 1:39s or crashes. So to do a consistent 1:38s for every single lap of the race, I was really happy with that. So we're going to come home then in P4. Nathan was ridiculously quick in this race. His best lap was a 1:37.4. Like, how? That's just stupid. Didn't even have slipstream. Ridiculous how fast Nathan is. There's a reason why he's a VQS driver. He's so good at this game nowadays. He spends so much time playing Gran Turismo Sport nowadays, and yeah, he will most certainly be a well finalist in GT7. So yeah, Nathan ended up taking the win by near enough 10 seconds, with Arthur Silver Arrow on his debut in Lobby 1 coming home in P2, and then Ryan in 3rd place in front of us. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching that video. Next up, rather predictably, will be round 2 of Club 100, which was filmed immediately after this race. So I'll be bringing you that to you either tomorrow or the day after. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will see you all then. So goodbye.